It's been an agonizing 15-year-long wait, but I'm here in Carmel Valley, California, where Toyota has finally taken the wraps off of the completely redesigned Toyota Sequoia. Let's take a first look. So 15 years is a pretty long time to wait for an all-new version. I have to say, let me first start with underneath the hood, because just like the new Tundra, of course, this is built on the same platform. This comes standard with the iForce Max hybrid powertrain. It's actually a really nice surprise because Toyota does not offer the base twin-turbo engine. Instead, we have the twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 paired up, of course, with it as a series parallel hybrid with a 48 horsepower electric motor. It's sandwiched between the 10-speed auto and the engine. The output numbers are the same: 437 horsepower, 583 pound-feet of torque. You can take your pick between either rear-wheel drive or the part-time four-wheel drive system, of course, that's also available on the Tundra. I believe the Capstone should be standard with that, which again is part of the Capstone theme. I don't have final fuel economy figures just yet. Toyota did mention that towing for this vehicle has increased to about 9,000 pounds. They also did not mention weight. I'm going to assume it's probably gotten a weight reduction versus the previous generation, but with the hybrid battery, it's going to, of course, add that weight back. The Tundra, let me just give you some numbers, weighs in at around 6,000 pounds. I imagine this is going to be pretty similar, and we should also expect this to get right around the MPG that the new Tundra is going to get as well. Now, let me close the hood and talk about the exterior styling of the new Sequoia, because Toyota actually says that they are sharing some components with the new Tundra. The hood, the fenders, and the headlights are shared with the current generation Tundra. However, you can see the grille is slightly more unique. It's not quite as large as what you see on the new Tundra. This is, of course, exclusive to the Capstone with this kind of texturized metal look with the hexagonal shape. The blue accented Toyota logo here to let you know that this is a hybrid. And you can see the headlights. These are the full LED headlights with the sequential LED turn signals. You can see here, this design is slightly different because it doesn't go quite as far down. I also like the unique front bumper you get on Sequoia. A lot of the vents here that you see are actually functional. Toyota said that they're kind of trying to do away with some of the fake vents, and I think it really did a great job with the overall exterior styling. Now, if you want to look at the side profile of this vehicle, this car is, Toyota says, a little bit smaller than the Tundra, obviously. However, the current generation Sequoia is around 205 inches long. It's a really big vehicle, actually, considering the size or the age of the car. I don't have final figures yet, but I would estimate this is probably within a couple inches shorter than the short cab Tundra. The wheels you can see are also the same as what we get on the Capstone Tundra. These are 22-inch wheel wrapped in Bridgestone tires on 265/50 series tires. I kind of wish Toyota, again, would make the wheels a little bit fatter. This would do really well with like a 285-inch wheel. I don't have the ground clearance figures yet. The Sequoia still continues to have an independent front suspension. They also didn't mention the rear suspension, if it's independent or not, but you can get this, of course, with the rear air suspension, which is something that the Tundra also offers. It should help to level out the rear suspension if you guys are towing heavy loads or you have a lot of people in the back. Now you can see the rear liftgate is open. The roll down rear window is no longer available on this vehicle, you can see, but it still flips up, which is a nice touch. The rear taillight design you can see is unique to the Sequoia. This is where you're going to obviously notice the differences. I actually really like the design. It's simple, it's clean, it's also very modern looking. I like how Toyota is also spelling out Sequoia. At the back there, you have this nicely integrated rear bumper here with the parking sensors with the kind of the black accents and the silver trim. And overall, let me know what you guys think about the design of this vehicle. It's a really interesting looking vehicle. Now, if you close the rear hatch here, let me actually open up the cargo area for you guys. Now, obviously, a foot-activated power liftgate is going to be included. However, this model here is a very early prototype, and for some reason, it's not working. But you can see here, the third row of this vehicle is definitely interesting. Now, obviously, it's still going to seat 8. I don't have any final cargo figures yet, but you can see this load partition floor is adjustable. You can also slide the third row forward and back up to 6 inches, which they say is an industry first. It's a nice feature that should help owners, again, with versatility. I am seeing that the third row has kind of like a power folding feature, and there's also a power outlet here and some LED lighting. But overall, the cargo area, it looks like it's not quite as much as what you might find from like a Yukon XL or a Cadillac Escalade, but this is, again, going to be one of the more spacious offerings in the shorter wheelbase segment. So you can see now I've switched over to the Trd Pro model. Toyota will offer up to 5 different trims. This is the most off-road capable version. You can see a lot of the chrome accents that was on the Capstone have been blacked out. You have the typical TRD grille that you have here that spells out Toyota. You have the 3 amber marker lights, which signifies that this model here is over 80 inches wide. This is a necessity, of course, when the vehicle is this wide. And especially painted in this windshield pearl with the black accents, I really think the Sequoia looks the most aggressive in this trim. You can see the headlights, a little bit more detail here. This is identical again to the new Tundra. Very good looking design with the sequential turn signals, the unique front bumper, the slightly more aggressive front end. And you can see the TRD Pro model also gives you the off-road fog lights, or the off-road lights here with the fog lights here on the lower fascia. Looking at the side profile, you can see the TRD Pro model also has a unique look here with the fender flares. The Capstone had painted fender flares, where these model here have kind of like this texturized look to it, where it's a little bit raised. You have these unique all-terrain tires. These are probably the same 33-inch tall tire wrapped in an 18-inch wheel. These are the TRD specific wheel with the black accents to it. It really makes the truck look a lot more aggressive, a lot more off-road capable. Instead of the iForce Max badge here, you have this TRD Pro logo. And then I really love about the TRD Pro, the black mirrors and the black window trim, along with the more aggressive roof rail that you have here. It just gives the truck a much more off-roady, more capable design. I think for those of you who are looking for that, it looks really well, of course, with the white exterior color with the black accents. Here at the rear of the TRD Pro model, you can see a lot of the black accent themes carry over here. I really like the kind of darkened taillights with that unique design with the sequential turn signal. The Sequoia logo, again, is kind of spelled out with the black accents, more black accents on the lower bumper. And again, you guys are noticing here, the rear window does not roll down. Instead, it just flips up. So you can still access this without opening the actual full-on hatch. Now, speaking of which, this model here, the rear hatch is working, unlike the Capstone model earlier, but I don't have cargo figures yet for this vehicle, but I really love the fact that you have this third row that slides forward and back. It gives you, again, a pretty good amount of space, and you can actually do that from back here. There's a little handle back here that allows you to slide the seat forward and back. This will definitely increase the space back here. So if you actually have to carry 7 people or 8 people in this vehicle and a lot of their stuff, it really will make it very versatile. I also love this little separate floor here where you can kind of move this shelf in several different positions here. This is pretty unique. And it really creates the versatility that I've never seen in the segment. Even though the Sequoia's space back here isn't quite as large as one of the longer wheelbase vehicles like the Expedition L or the Yukon XL, this is going to make the cargo area a unique selling feature for the new Sequoia. So let's take a look at the interior of the all-new 2023 Sequoia. Now, I actually just spent some time in the 2022 Tundra Capstone, and I have to say, this model here looks practically identical, which is a good thing because I really loved the interior of the Tundra Capstone, and Toyota essentially just carried it over. So, of course, we have the perforated semi-aniline black and white two-tone leather seats. These are heated and ventilated. You have 2-person memory. They adjust in like 14 different ways. Still is missing a massage feature, but I really like what I'm seeing here in terms of premium upscale features. Now, getting inside, you can see this model here. I'm not entirely sure what the Capstone is going to include compared to the Tundra, but it looks practically identical. You have the same steering wheel here, you have the same massive 14-inch display, and you have, of course, the upgraded interior lighting where you have some light accents underneath the door or underneath the dashboard. You have the Capstone badge here that also lights up. The 14-inch screen, Toyota says, is going to be available on all trims. An 8-inch screen is going to be standard. However, this is the standard screen on the Capstone. This is a huge upgrade versus the, oh, hello, Alex. This is a huge upgrade. This is a huge upgrade versus the 7-inch screen in the current generation Sequoia. Now, sadly, I can't actually turn it on because I don't have the key for this vehicle. But you have essentially the same kind of displays. You have a fully digital 12-inch display here. This is, of course, Toyota's audio multimedia system that has Android Auto and CarPlay that's wireless. It was developed by Toyota Connected Services. And in terms of interior materials, you can see same beautiful soft touch leather, full leather stitching on the dash. You have genuine burl American walnut trim with the light matte finish. You have this shifter here with some piano black accents. You have the part-time 4-wheel drive system. For the Tundra, you have Qi wireless charging here. And then, of course, you have all the towing connectivity stuff. You have the tow cameras, you have the adjustable rear air suspension, which should be optional. And of course, this model here also has the heads-up display and the digital rear view mirror. Now above me, there is a nice panoramic sunroof, which is nice to see because I also just spent some time in the Lexus LX600, which curiously, Lexus doesn't offer a pano roof, but you can get it in the Sequoia. Now the Sequoia has always been Toyota's largest SUV, so when it comes to the second and the third row, this is a very important factor for a lot of consumers looking at this vehicle. Now let me get back here and show you guys the space. I don't have final legroom figures yet. However, the previous generation, even though it was so old, was one of the most spacious in the segment. I'd say this is pretty similar. That one had around 40 inches of legroom. This is pretty close to it. You can see this model here, the Capstone, has these captain's chairs here, which does lower the seating capacity to 7. The Sequoia will seat up to 8, which is nice. There's a big, massive area here if you'd want to get to the 3rd row. There's a nice armrest here, of course, that folds down. You have some more cup holders here, more cup holders here. I'm actually really happy to see that there are heated and cooled seats back here. You have your own rear seat, a set of rear seat climate controls. You have 2 USB ports, an actual power outlet here. And of course, these seats, they have the same semi-aniline black and white leather combination that you get in the front seats, which is very nice. Showing you guys the 3rd row really quick, there is also a manual sunshade. I'm gonna get back here and show you guys the 3rd row. You can actually get back here by going through the center, or you can just kind of pull this lever here, and that folds the seat forward. It reveals a ton of space back here. Now the 3rd row has a really unique class exclusive feature where, as you can see, as I'm sitting back here, there's actually a good amount of room. There's good headspace. I'm 5'7" here. There's also rear seat sunshades back here. You have cup holders and a nice, somewhat padded area here. The 3rd row here has this exclusive feature where it slides forward and back up to 6 inches. You can see this is with the seat slid forward. I can also kind of pull this lever here and it'll slide up to match this. This model, this seat over here for some reason is stuck. Now, remember, this is a very early prototype, but you can actually use this little button here to recline the seat forward and back. This is a really cool feature, and it really will give owners the ability to either choose to have more rear seat legroom back here or more cargo space in the back, because as you guys saw earlier, the cargo space is a little tight when you have everything there. But you know, for somebody that's my height, I could actually sit back here and get pretty comfortable. There's all LED lighting on back here. I am a little surprised, however, that the pano sunroof kind of gets cut off right here abruptly in the 2nd row. I would have liked to see Toyota kind of expand that over into the 3rd row to allow for a little bit more light back here. So we've been waiting a long time for an all-new version of the Sequoia, and after finally seeing this new truck in person, I am pretty pleased with the results. Toyota pulled out all the stops for this all-new 3rd generation, and they had a really great place to start. The current generation Tundra is a very impressive offering. I love the variety of models that Toyota is offering here, from of course the more base SR5 to this off-road oriented Trd Pro to the fully luxury-lined Capstone model. I also like the new styling of the Sequoia. I think the rear end is particularly attractive. I think the front looks good. I love this Trd Pro model with all the black accents with the white. In fact, I may actually prefer the styling of this truck compared to the new Lexus LX600. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now, in terms of pricing and availability, Toyota wasn't ready to talk about pricing just yet, but the current generation is around $50,000 to start. Obviously, this is going to be more expensive. So Toyota says they'll have pricing as we get closer to the on-sale date. You can expect to pick this one up at your local Toyota dealerships by later this summer. So again, I should be driving the truck in the next couple of months, and Toyota says it'll go into production shortly after the drive. Overall, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think I particularly like the Capstone model, but if you guys are looking to purchase a Sequoia and you've been waiting for a new version, it's a great time to be looking at this truck because Toyota seems to have done a lot to really update this thing and make it feel a lot more modern. But with all that said, I hope you guys have enjoyed my first look overview on the 2023 Toyota Sequoia. If you're also looking to see the latest cars I'm testing, be sure to follow me on Instagram at redline_reviews, like us on Facebook, and as always, guys, please keep subscribing to the Redline Reviews YouTube channel for all the latest reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you all in the next video.